Hello there everybody, my name is SpektremShine, and in today's video I'll be talking about the lore behind Stormbreaker. Basically, for everybody that saw Avengers 4 Infinity Wars, you guys all know that they tried to make the hammer but it failed, so Groot basically grabbed it with his hand and chopped his arm off. For all you guys that have seen the movie, if not, spoilers. Like the mythology behind the Stormbreaker, I think it's actually pretty darn cool. That, you know, this hammer half axe, you know, it's both, you know, being a hammer to hit people with and an axe to cut, you know, to cut wood or whatever, because obviously it's a weapon, you know, that Thor uses against, you know, Thanos. Like the mythology behind it is actually pretty darn cool. For all you guys that like mythology and stuff like that, like Thor and everything, Stormbreaker is kind of different from Mjolnir. Let me just take this off because it's getting really hot. So basically, the mythology behind this is that they tried to make a new hammer for Thor, being that in Thor Ragnarok, Hel just grabbed it and crushed it, because obviously she's a god too, and she's the god of the dead, so she could destroy literally something so powerful that it just shatters into tiny little fragments, you know, that type of thing. Because obviously Mjolnir is made from a star fragment, you know, to be a magical hammer, you know, because it has to be a magical type of alloy. If you guys are familiar with, you know, the Thor North mythology and stuff like that, you know, everybody knows that Thor has a hammer to control, you know, the lightning and stuff like that, because I don't know why. Maybe it's a mythology that, you know, that the Norse, you know, made up or something, you know, their Norse mythology and stuff. So basically, Thor being the son of Odin, they made this hammer for him so he might have powers, you know, with the hammer, which is kind of redundant, but okay. And the story behind this is that this hammer is like 3 times as strong as Mjolnir, because Mjolnir is pretty powerful, you know, to hit people, and whoso be worthy of the power of, you know, Thor, may wield it, you know. So if you try to pull it from the ground, and you're not worthy, you're not gonna pick it up. It's impossible to, you know, you don't have the right attitude towards the hammer. You gotta have a certain attitude, you know, of righteousness and, you know, Norse power, kind of. So basically, Thor basically becomes Odin's son, which then is actually pretty cool. As for this one, it works the same way, you know, whoever be worthy. This one's a bit stronger because this one is probably made from a neutron star, which is a lot stronger than just a regular star. In order to make this, it would have to be a pretty strong star, you know, because it has the essence of the Bifrost, which for all you know, Norse mythology lovers, the Bifrost is basically a type of energy that lets you teleport throughout the realms of of Asgard and stuff like that, you know, Norse mythology and stuff like that, because there's different realms. There's like Niflheim, Jormungandr, you know, stuff like that. There's a lot of different, I don't remember exactly because I did play God of War 4, but I didn't play, I saw the walkthrough, but it's an incredibly good game. Like the story behind it is very spot on with Norse mythology and stuff like that. So basically the power behind it is that they made the hammer, but it didn't have a handle, so Groot decided to grab it, and yes, his hand would burned and stuff, and the wood kind of burned, and you know, and he grabbed it and he made it a full hammer. So then the power, you know, the wood handle is actually pretty darn cool that Groot decided to grab it, you know, and then just cut his arm out like this, like phew, like there you go. You got yourself a nice looking, awesome looking hammer, you know, with a long, because obviously it's an axe and a hammer. So it's a Hammeraxe, or like a pickaxe, you know, like it's a pick and an axe, you know, which is actually pretty cool. You know, it's a combination of two different weapons, an axe and a hammer. Let's just get besides that. I actually have the pop vinyl, which I'll be unboxing in a couple of weeks. I would have to do a custom job of putting clay inside because obviously it doesn't have anything to hold it up. So I would have to get some molding clay from a crafting store and kind of, you know, put it inside the heads and then mold it, and then you make a custom pop because the spring for the bobblehead was kind of all over the place. So yeah, I would have to do a job for that, but the cool thing about this hammer is that it has a power of Bifrost, so it basically could teleport him to any of the realms that he wants, or any realm for that matter. You know, he could probably teleport to wherever depending on the power of the hammer, you know. I would have to look up more lore about this, you know, this being the only hammer that has the essence of Bifrost, which, you know, as I said, let them teleport to any of the realms of Asgard. I could probably look it up. Just give me a second. Realms of North. Here, perfect, even better. Okay, just give me a second. There's different, yeah, there we go. Damn it. Yeah, the picture is somewhere on here. Perfect, yes. Where is it? Weird. I thought I saw a picture of it, but let's just go. Yeah, let's just go back. Where is it? Where the hell was it? Oh, Jesus Christ, are you serious? I have to now go back. Yeah, it's just the...
Where do you think you're going?
Okay. Perfect. There's basically 9 different realms, and the name of the whole realm is called Yggdrasil, which is basically the world tree, which is a giant tree that, you know, it's basically the largest tree in all of existence, you know, for Norse mythology and all that. Basically, there's 9 different realms. There's basically Midgard, which is for regular humans like us. There's Asgard for like Asgardian gods like Thor, Odin. I wouldn't say Loki because he's not. Well, he does live in Asgard with Thor and Odin and the rest of the gods and everything. But he's not Asgardian. He's more of an ice giant than anything else. Then there's Vanir, Vanaheim, which is Vanir gods, which is the lower gods. Because Asgard is for the higher gods. Vanir are for the lower gods. And then there's for the Jotunheim for the ice giants. So yeah, ice giants are basically, they're huge, you know. Loki is technically an ice giant because obviously Loki was born from an ice giant and a Asgardian god, I think. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've studied Norse mythology. And then there's Alfheim for the elves, you know, the ones that make, you know, like the weaponry and stuff. They cast basically Mjolnir and stuff like that, and weapons for Asgard and Vanir, or anyone for that matter. And then there's Dark Elf, that's Svartalfheim, which is a Dark Elf. All of you guys know, you know, what Dark Elves are. You know, they're evil, they like to, you know, cast spells on people, and they're pretty evil. And then there's Dwarves, which is Nidavellir. A different realm, you know, like if you guys play God of War 4, it should tell you a little about every, you know, you basically visit Asgard, Jotunheim, Vanaheim, Alfheim, you know, all these realms to find out, you know, the story behind Thor and Loki and all that. Next is Demons, which is Muspelheim, which is right next to Hell, you know. They're both in the same, you know, like I could show you a picture, but actually, yeah, this picture is actually pretty darn good. Yeah, this one's really spot on. Oh, sorry. Let's just go back. So yeah, where was I? Where is the picture of the... Wait, no, not this one. I thought I saw a picture of the 9 worlds. Ah, perfect, right here. So demons are from Muspelheim. Everybody knows what a demon is, you know, like evil creatures that like to torment people. And then there's Hell, which is, you know, which is literally, you know, where the dead go, you know, where dead people go. You know, after you die or something in the Norse mythology, you know, that type of thing. You know, like if you die, that's basically where you go, where you get tormented for all eternity. You know, that type of thing. Well, in Norse mythology, it's a little bit different than Christian, but let's see. So yeah, I could probably save this and show you. Save image as. And then.
Where do you think you're going?
Because I could read it. Actually, yeah, I could get into detail about, you know. Yeah, just give me a second to, you know, show you another picture of the realms and stuff. Give me a second. Okay, where is it? Should be somewhere around here. Perfect, right here. So yeah, here we go. So basically, this is basically how big, like Norse mythology is. You know, it's huge. Like this world tree is ginormous. I mean, we're talking about the size of, I don't know, the size of Saturn or something. Like it's really big, obviously. It has to be big because it houses, it basically where everybody lives within Norse mythology, whether you be a god, a Vanir, a ice giant, elves, any one of these, you know, it would have to be big. So let me just explain all this. So basically, Yggdrasil is the name of the, you know, the world tree, which is huge. You know, like if we're regular humans, a tree is huge. It basically goes, if this is my regular height, the tree goes maybe up to, from Earth to like Mars, maybe. The distance of that is huge. Like, you know, even though gods are much stronger, much, you know, they're gods, you know, they're all powerful. So basically, as I said, humans live in Midgard, you know, like it's like a regular town. Well, Asgard is basically, everything is made out of gold. Like the city is literally like heaven. Like everything is made out of gold. Even the gods, they wear all gold or something, you know, like, I don't know. Like based on Norse mythology, like everything is decorated, everything looks so fancy. That's basically the Asgard. Basically Asgard. You know, where Thor, Odin's kids, you know, Thor's kids, you know, they're all Asgardian gods. While Vanir, they're lesser gods, you know, they're still gods, you know, they're, you know, like based with Asgardian, but they live in a lower realm, you know, which I could zoom in a bit. So yeah, let me just, so yeah, so Asgard is basically where all the regular gods live, and then there's Vanaheim, which is a lot lower. you know, compared to, as you can see in this picture, there's different animals. There's this deer, this squirrel, and this snake. Basically, this serpent literally wraps around the whole earth, which is crazy. This is actually Loki's son. You know, his name is the World Serpent Jotunheim? No. Yeah, I think it's Jotunheim. Yep. Wait. No, sorry. The World Serpent, I forget the name of it. It's at the tip of my tongue, but yeah. If you play God of War, it'll tell you his name, you know, being a very large serpent that wraps around the whole world and stuff like that. As for the ice giants, they're kind of brutish, you know. I could show you a picture, but we barely have time for that. So basically, let me just explain, you know. So basically, Thor's axe, you know, Stormbreaker, he can travel to any one of these without, you know, because in order for a god to travel from one realm to another realm, they would have to use the power of the Bifrost to teleport. You know, each realm has their own portal to teleport to, like, Alfheim or Niflheim or Nidavellir, you know, Muspelheim, any one of those realms, you know. And the good thing about it is that Asgard and Jotunheim has like this rainbow bridge that you can travel across like that, you know. That's the only, you know, but if you want to travel from, I don't know, from Alfheim to Asgard, you would have to have a portal, you know, to teleport from, you know, Alfheim to Asgard, you know, that type of thing. Because the power of, you know, Norse, you would have to teleport from one place to another, you know, by the power of the Bifrost, which is this weird teleportation crystal that you put on, you know, that you kind of open a portal in a specific location, because you can't just go like that from, I don't know, from your home to there. You would have to go to a designated place, you know, shine a light, well, shine the Bifrost, and then teleport to that realm. And the good thing about it is that that hammer, he could just, you know, do it wherever, you know, within reason, you know. Because it has the power of the Bifrost, so he could go like, shoo, and just open the portal, and then go to Asgard, or Vanaheim, or Alfheim, or any one of these realms, which is actually pretty darn cool. I could kind of get into them, you know, and read the Stormbreaker X story. If I could get into the perfect, yes. We could get into the detail about, you know, the Stormbreaker. Not surprisingly, Stormbreaker actually has his root in the comic with the MCU is based. But like so many aspects of the Marvel movies, the filmmakers have combined stories and concepts from printed pages in order to arrive to the version of the weapon. Let's break them all down in Infinity Wars. Thor returns to the realm of Nidavellir, where he hopes dwarves who can create Mjolnir will be able to forge a new hammer for him capable of taking down Mad Titan Thanos. There he finds Peter Dinklage's character Atri, the sole survivor of the dwarf weapon maker. With the help of Rocket and Groot, they are able to reignite a dying star, activate from the forge with its awesome power to create Stormbreaker, which is more of an axe hammer than just a hammer, but that's cool too. Now the name Stormbreaker actually dates back to the classic Thor run of comics from the 80s by the writer-artist Walt Simonson. In those stories, Thor fought against an alien named Beta Ray Bill, who proved worthy enough to lift Mjolnir and took off for Asgard with it. Eventually, it turned out Beta Ray Bill was a good guy too, even if he did look like a horse. And Odin granted him his own enchanted weapon, a hammer-axe combo called Stormbreaker. Beta Ray Bill soon becomes a beloved character, and for all the years the fans continue to hope and that he'll show up in the MCU at some point. Okay. Here we go, yeah. Let's see.
Where do you think you're going?
Yep. Its properties. The hammer Stormbreaker is very similar to Mjolnir, made of a mythic Uru metal that is nearly indestructible. Worthiness. There is no proof, but it is believed that the original Mjolnir, no one can lift Stormbreaker who is not worthy. This is shown when, during the first gathering of Thor Corps, Eric Masterson as Thor 2, able to grab and use Stormbreaker in a fight against Loki. Power of Recall. I'll just explain it. Power of Recall is basically when anybody that has, Stormbreaker throws it and it hits somebody, he can recall it back and, it'll come right back to his hand. Transformation. By stamping Stormbreaker, Beta Ray Bill can revert to his mortal human form. Simon Walters, dressed in whichever clothes he last wore in that form. Then by stamping his fist, Beta Bill turns back into superhuman form. Wow. Force projection. Being a hammer, Stormbreaker can be used as a blunt force melee weapon and as a throwing weapon. It appears that Stormbreaker has the same attributes as Mjolnir. It can absorb, magnify, and return almost any type of force by itself. The hammer can create ground tremors when struck against the ground, or whirlwind when swung around. Oh, wow. So spinning it around, he could create whirlwind, you know, like tornadoes and stuff. Basically with the hammer he could fly, he could project energy, lightning, you know, like portal creation. When swung at a particular pitch, the hammer can open a portal to any oh, I was right. He could basically, when it's swung at a particular pitch, so if he does it extremely quick, it says at a particular pitch, the hammer can open a portal to any desired dimension, such as Asgard. So any dimension he wants. Okay, I was right. So he would have to spin it pretty quickly, and then it would open a portal, which is amazing. And energy sensing, the hammer can detect most types of energy. It reacts particularly strong to evil psychic. Oh, this hammer is indestructible. No wonder why I love this hammer so much. Like, wowzers. So if Thor has something like that, woohoo! Like, yowzers, this hammer is amazing. So yeah, as I said, let me just get the other picture of Stormbreaker. There we go. So yeah, there we go. So this hammer, if swung around very quickly, it could create portals. So I basically love this hammer. If this hammer was real, I would try to make myself worthy to, you know, wield this hammer. Not only that, I could literally open a portal to wherever and just go, and just, you know, open a portal, I don't know, to another dimension or something, which would be kind of crazy. But with the power, if I do have a hammer, I'll be as powerful as Thor himself, and nothing could stop me. So basically, any dimension I go to, boom, knock you out, boom. Like this is way too powerful for a hammer. Like, nobody would be able to stop this. Not even Thanos himself. Like, the good thing about this, it could cancel out the power of you know, the Infinity Gauntlet, because it's just as powerful as the Infinity Gauntlet. It can make you fly, you know. It doesn't have a handle, but oh well, fly. Like, just grab it and just go all over the place, which is amazing. You know, this hammer, I love it. And pretty soon, this will be my #1 pop. I'll put #1 on it, you know, on the little base that I do. So once and the good thing is, I will be having the cosplay as well. So for next year, you know, I already have the picture and everything. You know, give me a second to go into cosplay. Where is it? There we go. So yeah, I'm basically gonna have the costume, which is gonna be amazing. And yes, I will be having Stormbreaker as well, so you best believe it's gonna be super crazy, like with my beard and everything, and my hair all spiked up just like the popper or the movie, because obviously the movie is coming out next year. So I'll probably be a very popular character. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's Thor! You know, the almighty Thor. Not even All Might can fight against me. I'll probably knock him out with my hammer. Boom! Like, instant death. I'm sorry. I do like My Hero Academia, but remember, Thor is a god. Actually, I'm gonna do a video this week who would win in a fight? All Might with all his power, or Thor without his hammer? You know, because with the hammer he'd be all too powerful. Because I think Thor could survive even without his hammer. Because he has survived. He has fought against ice giants, like, you know. So yeah guys, that does it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.